Hi everybody, Angel here with ConfidenceIsCatchy.com. Our goal here today is to continue our conversation about the five building blocks of confidence as we lead up to the live conference called Constructing Confidence Live coming up at the end of April, April 29th. So today I'm hoping to expand upon what we've been talking about for the last few days regarding this subject of character. And we have been talking about the roles that we play and the people that we become, and also how we go about figuring out how to change that so that we can become a more confident version of ourselves. For those of you who don't know me, my name is Angel. I own a website called ConfidenceIsCatchy.com where I like to give people information on how they can grow their confidence. So thanks for joining us. Today is day 4. We are still talking about characters. This is our last day talking about characters. In particular, today, what I wanted to discuss with you is the lies that we've been told all of our lives about who we are or who we should be. Yesterday, we talked a little bit about releasing fear and letting go of the person inside of us that holds us back. And the reason we have that person is not because there's anything wrong with us. It's actually a very natural response to trauma or events or situations in our lives that make us put up defense mechanisms and make us protect ourselves. The defense mechanisms in your mind are incredibly strong. They will make all kinds of things seem very real in order to keep you alive and well. And so questioning those is not necessarily needed in that those things are going to happen automatically. Your system is built to protect you. But it also is subsequently very, I'm going to use the word reactionary to the things that people say and the things that people tell us about ourselves. I will use an example. My son, who is 6.5, recently we were out with a group of people we didn't know. We were kind of just in a group of a lot of kids. There were lots of kids playing, and he wanted to go play with them. And he said, well, I want you to come with me because I'm shy. And I looked at him and I was like, you are not shy. He's not shy. He actually has been told, and I've used this all the time, I consider him like the mayor of McDonald's. If we go to a McDonald's playscape, he has no problem walking up to any child and saying, can I play with you? Can I play tag? Do you want to play this? Do you want to play? Like, he's not a shy kid. So for him to have that word in his vocabulary was actually really shocking to me, because I was like, who is telling you that you're shy? Because it's so not true. So that's the whole idea behind a segment that I was doing earlier in March called Yesterday's Lies and Today's Truth. So if you use those hashtags, Yesterday's Lies and hashtag Today's Truths, you'll see those conversations on my Confidence is Catchy Facebook page about the lies that we're told about us and the things that we take in and then hold that in as truth, and how long it takes for us to release that. And again, those fears that we talk about, that little girl, that little boy inside of us that we need to release so that we can release some of that fear. A lot of the fear that we're afraid of change, or changing ourselves, comes from those lies that we've been told, that we've internalized, that we sometimes don't even realize are still active. So what I'm suggesting is that, we try to look at what those lies are. And are they real? Or are they something that we internalize because we were told that we were shy when we're really not shy? And a couple of the things that I had put out there as lies that I'm still struggling with, right? In that conversation were what I call the creepy dude lie, okay? And for me, this was, way back when I was maybe 12, 13 years old, going around the mall with my friends, and a creepy older guy had actually come up to me and was like, well, can I get a smile? As though I owed this stranger some kind of reaction to his enjoyment of looking at me, right? And my friends were like, at the time, were like, well, if you smile at him, he'll leave us alone. And I was kind of like the sacrificial lamb. And so I got it in my head from a pretty young age that if I smile and I'm demure and I basically allow people to enjoy what I look like, that in some way, shape, or form that actually protects me. It protects the herd that I'm in, and it protects me. And so I tended for a very long time to not be offended and not be put off by, especially the way that men looked at me. This probably informed a lot of the decisions in my life in my teens and 20s as to how to relate to men. And I see it now that I'm in my late 40s, how that thought process, how that lie would have translated into a lot of the things that I did in my 20s. So that creepy dude lie actually became like all men for a while. And then I realized that all men are not like that. Thank God. Finally took me like 20 years to realize that. And I allowed to have real relationships with men that relationships that weren't based on my physical appearance. And so, but how long did that take me to figure that out, right? So that's a fundamental lie that was etched in me very early on. Now, another one I put out there is respect your elders. Now, in a way, these two were tied together in my mind because I always was told that people that were older than me knew better. And as I think we're seeing now out there in the world, if you watch the news at all in the last month, maybe we don't know better. Maybe those of us who are older don't always know better. And I also see that when I look at the older generations before me. It's not just a matter of they don't know better necessarily. It's that they aren't living in this world. Many of them are not connected socially. Many of them don't even know that Facebook Live exists, right? They don't even know, they couldn't do this if their life depended on it. It's just not, they're not part of who they are, or it's not part of what they grew up with. It's not part of what they can't even program a VCR, right? If you probably have an older person in your house or in your life that would be completely lost if needing to do that and doesn't even know how to use their phone, right? Where for the rest of us, this is normal every day. This is just what everybody knows how to do. And so we take it for granted that it's easy. And at the same time, sometimes we look to the older generation to have answers, but they're not living in this world. They're here physically, but that doesn't mean that they're engaged in it in the same way. So when it comes down to the lie of respect your elders, yes, should you respect your elders and where they've been and what they've been through? Yes, but does that necessarily mean that they know better for you and that what they say about your life is how it's supposed to go down? You're the only one that can choose that. So today's truth there really comes down to the only one who knows your path is you. And yes, older people can be a great resource for some ideas and some inspiration and to lead a way for us to follow. But it doesn't necessarily mean if they say the sky is green, that the sky has suddenly turned to green. So you do have to kind of check your own gut check on things. And the last one that I had put up, and I'm going to put up more of these because it engaged a lot of conversation and people seem to really enjoy it, was you have to be perfect first before you put yourself out there. And this is one that I've been struggling with in business. A lot of us think that we have to have everything all together and that we have to basically be a certain way, or our website has to look a certain way, or our clothes have to look a certain way, or we have to have this amazingly polished presentation every minute of the time that we're doing any kind of business out there. And I'm actually finding that that's counterproductive in a lot of ways. People want actual engagement. They want to have conversations with people. They want to feel like the interaction they have in business is a personal one, not this impersonal customer service nightmare that we've all been handling for, however long. Being perfect isn't necessary. Being human is. And so that's today's truth on that. And so, the perfection model, what I call the Pinterest perfection model, has got to die. And if you're trying to attain that, again, that's a character that you're playing. That's a role that you're trying to get to a certain level of perfection. And that's probably not necessary and probably not even appreciated, right? Because I don't know if you know anybody that has a perfect life. Most everyone else around them is like, oh God, yeah, she's like a Stepford wife, or she, you know what I mean? Like it's not like people go, wow, their life is so perfect. I want my life exactly like that. And even if they did say that, behind the scenes, there's probably something going on that's not so good. And wouldn't it be nice to just be able to be real and not have to put on all of these characters to make everyone else think that we're perfect or think that we have it all together. Can't we just all agree that we don't? In some way, shape, or form, even the most successful people have some drama going on at some point in their lives. And if we just get real about that, a lot of the pretense that we function within can fall away. And that also allows a lot of our fears to fall away and allows us to come out and be far more productive and far more influential and far more effective in whatever it is we choose to do, and probably a hell of a lot happier. So for today and the last day we're going to talk about characters, just think about how your personality, how your characters, how the roles that you play and the persona that you fill from a day-to-day basis is informed by lies that you might have been told long time ago, and that you are trying to adjust your reality in order to conform with what somebody else told you is true that may not be. So think about your lies and think about your truths and see if that doesn't change some of the characters that you play. So thank you for joining us today. If you liked our conversation, please click something down below. I would love a heart. That would be great. But a smiley face or a laugh is always good too. And if you have some comments, some of your lies that you're struggling with as you get older, I would love to hear about those as well. Just go ahead and throw those in the comments. And if this resonates with you and you're thinking of somebody in your head that was like, oh wow, they really should hear that, please go ahead and tag them on this page. I'd love to meet some new friends and be able to expand what we're doing here to help everyone have more confidence. And don't forget, if you haven't already, get your free report at confidenceiscatchy.com. Just by clicking on that link, you'll be able to go and sign up for your free report. I look forward to seeing you at the end of April at our live event, and have a great day. Bye.